Hi, 5th grade. Today we're going to go over March Steps. It's a new piece of music that I put on Google Classroom. Let me pull this so that I can have a little bit more light. That didn't really work. It's a little dreary outside. Anyway, March Steps is a new piece that I put on Google Classroom. Go ahead and pull it up for your instrument. And what we're going to do is kind of like last week. I'm going to teach the lesson, and then I'm going to switch the video to your instrument. So you don't have to do anything, just follow along. And before you play it with me, make sure you warm up, make sure you go over all the stuff we've gone over in the past, review that stuff, but then we'll dive into this tune. So the thing about March Steps, the hardest part is the, well, one, you don't know it, you don't recognize it. It's not like a nursery rhyme, it's not, Mary Had a Little Lamb that we played last week. It is just totally original music that you've never heard before. So you'll have to know it. You'll have to be able to read the music to be able to play it. But I'll teach you that. It's no big deal. The other hard part is that we're skipping notes now. In the past, your notes would go in order, right? You'd go low to high, and there's no skipping notes in between. But the thing about March Steps is that they want you to skip notes. They want you to go from low straight to the high note, dum, da, dum. You want to skip the notes, and that's hard for a beginner player, so we're going to work on that when we get to your instrument part, but don't worry about that right now. Right now we just want to look at the rhythm and what the song is, right? So fill in your notes, first of all. Write in your notes. That would really help you in the future. But let's talk about the rhythm. It's really simple. We just have to go over it. The first measure, we've got 4 quarter notes, and you can also see that your first question is how many beats are in a quarter note. Your quarter note has 1 beat. We know that. Okay, it's got 1 beat in it. There's 4 quarter notes in a measure, because you can see that in 4/4 in the time signature at the front. So there's 4 beats in a quarter note. There's 4 quarter notes in a measure. There's 1 beat in a quarter note. That means there's 4 beats in this first measure that are played. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you're following the music, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go over that when we get to it. And then the second measure is a whole note. Your second question, you'll see, is how many beats are in a whole note. There's 4 beats in a whole note. Okay, you can see that the whole note takes up the entire measure. There's 4 whole beats and there's nothing else. So you have to count that for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you hold that note out. So those first 2 measures together are 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you hold it out, and we'll get to that more when we play it. And the third and fourth measure are the same exact rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth and sixth measure is the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not. Sorry, the sixth measure is different. Okay, we've got quarter, quarter, half note. Okay, I didn't put this as a question, but a half note is 2 beats. Okay, so it's going to be 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 4. So that sixth measure, 1, 2, 3, right? Just kind of like, what's the song? Hot Cross Buns, right? Da, da, da. That's what we're looking at. And then your fifth, or your seventh and eighth measure are going to be nearly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your last measure is weird. You have a half note, a quarter note, and then a rest. Half note, quarter, rest. So 1, 2, 3, rest. Okay, so the whole thing, you can slow me down if you need help on this, but the whole thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, you can follow along, clap along with me. I'll take it a little slower this time. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's your rhythm. There's one other thing we have to look at here for all of us, and it's this little comma on measures between measures 2 and 3. 5 and 6, and 7 and 8, that little comma is a breath mark. That means that you are going to breathe. Okay, that's the best place in these songs to breathe, and it's really nice that it tells you, because otherwise you'd be breathing all over the place. So make sure you take a big breath there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big breath. Fill up your whole body with air so that you can have enough air to get through the song. Okay, and we'll go over that song a little bit more in your specific instrument, but that's all there is to it. Okay, just get the rhythm, write your notes in, and you really want to clap along with me. Okay, read along with the music and clap along with me in this video if you're not getting it. But before you move to the music part, I want you to have the rhythm perfect, because you won't be able to play the music with notes if you can't do the rhythm. Okay, so don't move on until the rhythm is perfect. I'm going to move on to your specific instrument now. Alright, here we are. Flute. I'm going to play it for you first. And try to follow along the music. 1, 2, ready, go. Sorry, that didn't work. Try again. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that's it. What I want to do, I just want to go over it slowly, and I want to go over all the notes that we play in this. So the first thing we're going to do, all of our first 5 notes are played in this tune. Okay, we've got B flat, C, D, E flat, and F. So we're going to go over all those, and we're just going to play them and try to match them before we move on. So let's do a B flat first. 1, 2, pinky, thumb. You can check your fingering at the bottom of the page. Here's your B flat. Match me. 1, 2, B flat, go. If you don't sound like me, adjust. Maybe roll your lip plate around until you find that hole. If you're not getting a good sound, you know, take it off and try to make that little hooting sound. Here we go. Let's go again. It's a little cold in here, so I might be a little flat. That's okay. All right. Here's your B flat again. 1, 2, B flat, go. Okay, here's C. 1, C. Take off your thumb and your right finger. 1, 2, C. Go. Sorry. D. Middle finger, ring finger. 1, 2, 3, and then your thumb. Make sure you got those ones. These 2 fingers are flying. Actually, these 3 fingers are flying. D. 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, ready, go. For E flat, just throw your pinky on. 1, 2, E flat, go. And then for your F, first, second, third, and then your first here, pinky on, thumb on. Okay? The only fingers that aren't being used is this pinky and these 2 middle fingers. Here we go. F. 1, 2, F, go. So all of those back to back, I'll put 2 beats on each one of them. Here we go. B flat through F. 1, 2, ready, go. Coming down. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. If you can't do that, what I just did, then you need to work on doing that before you move on to anything else. Okay? Because this is going to be a lot harder if you can't hold those notes out and get that done. So if you can't do the half notes, practice that. Start on whole notes. Put a rest in between if you need to, but practice moving between your notes, because you want to be able to do that. Okay, because it's going to be a lot easier to play the song if you can do that. So stop the video, practice that, and then come back when you're ready. March steps. We're switching between B flats and D here. Okay, and the hard part is taking from almost no fingers to almost all your fingers. You're basically taking all the fingers that are not on the keys and putting them down. Okay, except for this guy. He's still on. So you're going from this to this. I'd practice that fingering. I'd just sit there, watch TV, you know. Practice that. That's what's going to make this easy. But that's the hardest part of March steps is switching between that B flat and D in the first measure. I promise. So here's March steps. I'll play it for you. This is the first two measures. Let's do that really slow. 1, 2, 3, go. Don't forget, like I did, to take your thumb off for that C. So it's B flat, D, B flat, D, C. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Here's your first measure. Again, pause the video, practice it, because I'm not just going to keep going over it. I've done it once. Go back and play through it again. And watch my video part, that little section of it again. You know, back the video up and replay it so you can get better at it. Second set of measures, measures 3 and 4, starting on E flat, okay? Those. We're going E flat, D, C, E flat, D. Switching from C to E flat is also hard. Switching from almost nothing to almost everything. Okay, just make sure that you switch. But that's why we're doing this one, because we want to get you switch in between the no fingers on to all fingers on. That's the purpose of this. So practice that. It's not about playing the song, it's about learning that skill. Okay, switching. Here we go. Slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. And something that'll help you is that you're probably, I know a lot of beginners do this, having all your fingers up like this. It would be easier just to have them on there so that when you switch, they're not way up here and they have to travel further. Just let them sit on the keys and then push them down when you need to. But that's your second measure, or your second set of measures, measures 3 and 4. Let's take that slowly. I messed that up. Let me try again. 1, 2, slowly, go. And then you breathe, right? Breath mark. Next one, this skip is easy. D to F, D, F, D, F, right? Hardest thing about the flute here is switching from all fingers on to no fingers on. Okay, that's your skill to practice. I'm going to go over it again. I keep going over it because it is so important that you learn that skill. Okay? And then your last measure, last two measures, starting on F. Okay, let's go for the whole thing, from the top to the bottom, slowly, and then I'll do it fast. 1, 2, from the top, go. Okay, that's all there is to it. We're going to do it at speed now so you can match me once you get there, but since I can't be in class to teach you a lot of the time, you need to learn this stuff. You need to practice at home. Practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Here we go. At speed. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Let's try that again. I messed it up. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that's your whole part. just practice it. Okay, if it's not perfect, that's fine. We can work on it during class, and you can ask me for help. But I just need you to practice and work on that little section. Okay, it'll make you better. I promise. Practice, practice. That'll get you there. Thanks. I will see you guys hopefully the rest of the week or next week, and I'll make another video next week hopefully. I'll see you around. Bye.